Rembica Radio with your host, Genty.
Yeah, fucking Jen is a warlord.
And I don't want to be here. I'm the son of an Atlanta City police officer. My cousin is an Atlanta City police officer. And my other cousin, East Point police officer. And I got a lot of love and respect for police officers, down to the original 8 police officers in Atlanta that even after becoming police had to dress in a YMCA because white officers didn't want to get dressed with niggers. And here we are 80 years later. I watched a white officer assassinate a black man. And I know that tore your heart out. And I know it's crippling. And I have nothing positive to say in this moment because I don't want to be here. But I'm responsible to be here because it wasn't just Dr. King and people dressed nicely who marched and protested to progress this city and so many other cities. It was people like my grandmother, people like my aunts and uncles who were members of SCLC and NAACP, and in particular, Reverend James Orange, Mrs. Alice Johnson, and Reverend Love, who we just lost last year. So I'm duty bound to be here to simply say that it is your duty not to burn your own house down for anger with an enemy. It is your duty to fortify your own house so that you may be a house of refuge in times of organization. And now is the time to plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. It is time to beat up prosecutors you don't like at the voting booth. It is time to hold mayoral offices accountable, chiefs and deputy chiefs. Atlanta is not perfect, but we're a lot better than we ever were, and we're a lot better than cities are. I'm mad as hell. I woke up wanting to see the world burn down yesterday because I'm tired of seeing black men die. He casually put his knee on a human being's neck for 9 minutes as he died like a zebra in the clutch of a lion's jaw. And we watch it like murder porn over and over again. So that's why children are burning to the ground. They don't know what else to do. And it is the responsibility of us to make this better right now. We don't want to see one officer charged. We want to see 4 officers prosecuted and sentenced. We don't want to see targets burning. We want to see the system that sets up for systemic racism burnt to the ground. And as I sit here in Georgia, home of Stevens, Georgia, former vice president of the Confederacy, white man said that law, fundamental law, stated that whites were naturally the superior race. And the Confederacy was built on a cornerstone. It's called a cornerstone speech. Look it up. The cornerstone speech that blacks would always be subordinate. That officer believed that speech because he killed that man like an animal. In this city, officers have done horrendous things and they have been prosecuted. This city's cut different. In this city, you can find over 50 restaurants owned by black women. I didn't say minority, and I didn't say women of color. So after you burn down your own home, what do you have left but char and ash? CNN? Ted did a great thing. I love CNN, I love Cartoon Network, but I'd like to say to CNN right now, karma's a mother. Stop feeding fear and anger every day. Stop making people feel so fearful. Give them hope. I'm glad they only took down a sign and defaced a building and they're not killing human beings like that policeman did. I'm glad that they only destroyed some brick and mortar and they didn't rip a father from a son. They didn't rip a son from a mother like the policeman did. When a man yells for his mother in duress and pain and she's dead, he is essentially yelling, please, God, don't let it happen to me. And we watch that. So my question for us on the other side of this camera is, after it burns, will we be left with charred, or will we rise like a phoenix out of the ashes that Atlanta has always done? Will we use this as a moment to say that we will not do what other cities have done, and in fact, we will get better than we've been? We got good enough to destroy cash bonds. You don't have to worry about going to jail for something petty. We got smart enough to decriminalize marijuana. How smart are we going to be in the next 15 or 20 years to keep us ahead of this curve? So that much like when South Africa suffered apartheid, you had Andy and other politicians that could make sure that Atlanta said, Coca-Cola, we love you, but if you don't pull out of South Africa, we're going to leave. We're not going to drink Coca-Cola anymore. Coca-Cola jumped on their side and apartheid ended. So we have an opportunity now. Because I'm mad, I don't have any good advice. But what I can tell you is that if you sit in your homes tonight, instead of burning your home to the ground, you will have time to properly plot, plan, strategize, and organize and mobilize in an effective way. And two of the most effective ways is first taking your butt to the computer and making sure you fill out your census so that people know who you are and where you are. The next thing is making sure you exercise your political bully power and going to local elections and beating up the politicians that you don't like. You got a prosecutor sent your partner to jail and you know it was bullshit. Put a new prosecutor in there. Now's your election to do it. You want a different senator that's more progressive, that pulls marijuana through. Now is the time to do that. But it is not time to burn down your own home. I love and I respect you. I hate I don't have more to say. I hate I can't fix it in a snap. I hate Atlanta's not perfect for as good as we are. But we have to be better than this moment. We have to be better than burning down our own homes. Because if we lose Atlanta, what else we got? We lose an ability to plot, to plan, to strategize, to organize, and to properly mobilize. I want you to go home. I want you to talk to 10 of your friends. I want you guys to come up with real solutions. I would like for the Atlanta City Police Department to bring back the Community Review Board, one that Alice Johnson was formerly under Chief Turner. We need a review board here because we need to get ahead of it before an officer does some stupid shit. We need to get ahead of it. That's my recommendation to my mayor and my chief. Let's get a review board. Let's get ahead of it, and let's give them power. We don't need an officer that makes a mistake once, twice, 3 times, and finally he kills a boy on national TV, and the next thing you know, the country is burning down. We don't need a dumbass president repeating what segregationists said. You start looting, we start shooting. But the problem is some officers black and some people gonna shoot back. And that's not good for our community either. I love and respect you all. I hope that we find a way out of it because I don't have the answers, but I do know we must plot, we must plan, we must strategize, organize, and mobilize. Thank you for allowing me some time to speak. I'd like to appreciate our chief for what she said on YouTube. I thought it was very bold to do. I'd like to appreciate our mayor for talking to us like a black mama and telling us to take our ass at home. And I'd like to thank my friend for convincing me to come here. And I'll defer to Joe Beasley now.
He's 16. What we gonna do? You tell me. What we gonna do? This ain't the way. Because they ready to let loose. If the United States president say, if you loot, we shoot. Then you think doing this going on? I know it. It's doing it now. But it's time to stand up. So at this point, I'm ready to die for what's going on. Let me tell you something. That's the problem that we got. That you see right now, it's going to happen 10 years from now. And at 26, you're going to be doing the same thing I'm doing. You understand that? 10 years. You're going to be right here, too. But he also got to. So what I need y'all to do right now at 16 is come up with a better way. Because how we doing it, it ain't working. He angry at 46. I'm angry at 31. You angry at 16. It's over, you understand me? Putting yourself in harm's way is not the way. No, it's not.
But the only change, and I hate to fucking say this, this irritates the shit out of me to even say this. Change is going to come from white people. White people will be the ones that cause all of this to change. The blacks, whoever you are, whatever color, gender, race you are, that you are suffering right now. White people have the power to make change. Whenever I needed something in life, I realized as a person of color There are very few people of color in positions to make change. There are a lot of white people in positions right now to make change.
We have a job to do. Whether you want to admit it or not, your job is to set up the next generation. That's our job, whether you want to fucking admit it or not. It's your kids, it's your friends, it's whomever. You're supposed to live a certain way, do certain things to set up for the next generation to come and to be able to do better. If you don't, then you're not doing your part. And if the world never fucking grows, you got to raise your hand and be responsible.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rambo Radio. I am your host, Gen T. Twitter and Instagram at Gen T523. What's good, motherfuckers? I have to be 1000% honest with y'all. I wasn't sure that I would be able to get on the microphone after these events have taken place this week. I have just been through a gamut of arguing, crying, anger, a disruption of some friendships, a noticing of just how ignorant some individuals are. And I really just needed the moment. And so I just wanted y'all to catch the audio clips that I played at the beginning of the show, just to kind of get an idea as to where my head is at. And I want to also make some statements regarding last week's episode. I listened back. I know that I mentioned about All Lives Matter and they are important. But seemingly the argument this week, one of the main arguments that I was in with several people, and several people kept saying it back to me, and I kept saying, no. I agree with you, but for this moment in time, Black people are asking everyone else to stand up for us, give us a fucking hand in stopping this police brutality garbage. We're not asking you to say that Black lives are the only lives, they are the most important lives. We are not saying that. We are just asking for some help. So I understand, as in 7 days later, 7 days later, now that this is being published, but within the 48 hours of me posting my podcast, last week's episode, and hearing back what I said, I understand that is how my heart felt at that moment in time, not having it explained to me in the way that was completely understandable. And I thought that as a friend, I could explain this to other people as well. And this did not go over well for most people. I was in the space that, yes, I agree, all lives matter. They are important. But what I failed to realize in those 48 hours was that me being an African American, me being Black, trying to understand what's going on, is that when you say all lives matter, that is wonderful. That's amazing. But not all lives are being attacked by the police and killed by the police quite frequently. So understanding that, I thought, okay, it is my duty, since I said this on my show, it is my duty to say that, yes, all lives matter. But at this moment in time, we need to put our focus, we need to put our attention on African American lives that are being killed by police for unnecessary reasons. The force that is being used from the police towards African American people is not the same force as all other lives. Now that I understand this, I tried so desperately to explain this to my friends who were living and dying on the All Lives Matter hill. I have to tell you again, and for the last time, and this is not trying to be having an argument, because clearly they are not here to respond, but maybe they will listen. Listen up. It is so important right now, as your friend, as your sister, as your hermano, as your compadre, as whatever you want to situate our relationship. Please understand that when I leave my house, most lives compared to a black life do not have the same experience with police as other lives do. And so the fact that people were out here protesting, saying that Black Lives Matter was important because that needed to be focused on. That needed attention. We needed to get those 4 officers arrested and charged, and now the most important part is ahead of us, is getting a guilty verdict for all 4 of these people. And then we need to talk about not only George Floyd, but Breonna Taylor, who was shot in her home while they were serving an arrest warrant for her boyfriend, and it wasn't even the right person. The person that they needed was already locked up in jail. And she was shot 8 times. They opened up 20 shots into the house and they shot her 8 times. I just don't know how you can hear this information, what I'm saying, and then repeat back to me, still all lives matter, but still all lives matter. Not all lives are being treated fairly by the police. Okay? Does that make it any clearer? I know when I saw the analogy of, yes, all lives matter, but for example, if one house is on fire, you're not going to ask the fire department to bring water to every other house. You're going to ask the fire department to put out the fire at the one house because that one house is important. I understand that now. What I don't understand is the continuing of still saying all lives matter, still riding that hill. It's like, you just don't fucking get it. You just don't get it. I'm trying to be respectful of your opinion, but it is 1000% inconsiderate to your black friend, to your black coworker, to your black business partner. When you say some shit like that and you keep saying some shit like that, it's hurtful. It's fucking divisive and it's fucking hurtful. Please take a moment and just think. You can't even begin to understand, but you would want to be helpful. Listen, some of you that are listening are not African American, and I understand that. I understand you. I see you. All I'm asking for you is to see me and to understand that your dear host, Rambopra, has been detained, unlawfully detained, twice by police. I mentioned that a couple weeks ago on the show. But obviously, if you're a new listener or maybe you just didn't hear it before, I'm going to say it again. I was unlawfully detained by police. I have not had the best experience with Caucasian people. I have not had the best experience with black people as well, too. It's a two-way street. But for this moment in time, I'm asking for your understanding that certain group of individuals think it's okay to treat me different because of the color of my skin. The color of skin that I was born with. I'm asking you to tell your friend who maybe doesn't understand black people, because I know a lot of friends, air quotes friends, because I'm using it loosely, who think they know, but they truly do not know. I'm asking you to have important conversations right now. I'm not saying that you need to go around and tell people they're wrong and this is how it is. I'm saying that if you are an ally of Black people, I'm asking you, I'm begging you to start having conversations with people who may not be allies with Black people and help them understand that it is okay. We are people too. The only difference is the color of our skin, but we want the same things that you do too. We have goals, we have dreams, we have aspirations, and we want this shit to stop. And I hope you listening want the same thing too. Whew. It's just been a marathon of emotions. Just hearing stories, not going into too many details with certain individuals because I'm trying to respect people's privacy. But I heard some arguments between friends was about this. I also experienced the same thing as well. And it is all right for you to ask questions, but please be respectful. It's one thing to ask questions. It's another thing to just be completely rude and be divisive and trying to sort of pull the light away from what is on focus here, and that is African American people, that is Black people. And like David Goggins said, white people are really the only people that can fix this. Because you guys, some of y'all seem to be afraid. So you guys are the only ones that can turn this around. All that I can do is be the best example, if you know me, of a Black person that I can be. I tried to be the best that I can be. Last week, I did the best that I could last week, but listening to that show, I understand and I'm making improvements and I'm trying to be better for this week, for tomorrow. A situation where two friends are not getting along because of this. And for me, I'm taking a break. I'm not necessarily unfollowing because I don't know if it's deep enough yet. Because I feel like if I completely cut some individuals out of my life who keep saying all lives matter, keep saying, just keep going, just keep doing that. When I hear of two friends not speaking to each other, it breaks my heart because it has something to do with this, and I don't like that. I don't know 100% of the specifics of the situation. I got one side, I got the other side, and I'm in the middle here. And I would wish that I know in time that it'll work its way out one way or another. It's just going to solve itself. Either they're going to be friends or they're not, and it is what it is. But I think as a friend, that you have a listening ear to understand what's going on. And if your friend feels a certain way about something and you feel a certain way about something and you can't come to an understanding about it, let it be. Just leave it there. It is not worth throwing away your friendship. Leave it alone. Don't talk about politics, because if you cannot be in a space where you can successfully listen and disagree and move on and be polite about it, if you're just going to be nasty, if you're not going to listen, you're going to be disrespectful, then just be done with it. Don't talk about politics. When it comes to racism, this should be a universal thing. Racism is wrong. And we got to put a stop to it. And if somebody is not on that page, I would say that either there is something that could be said to maybe teach them that racism is wrong, or if they are just in a certain space where they disagree and they think racism is right, well, then that is an ideology that has to go. You cannot be friends with them. I will say that. If they think racism is okay, then you cannot fix that. That is we're just going to let you go. Okay. Damn it. I can't remember his name, but I guess this would counteract that statement that I just made. But There is he was a black, I think he's a black preacher or a jazz musician. I'm not 100% sure, but fucking Joe Rogan talked about this on his show where he started going to KKK rallies and converting them and having dinner with these people, with the KKK members and getting them to quit the Ku Klux Klan. I can't think of this guy's fucking name, but I'm sure you can Google this shit. That is some serious dedication to stopping racism. I have experienced that in a lower standard. I don't have friends who are in the KKK, but I have had friends, and I still do have friends who are, how can I say this without hurting some feelings here? Let me sit back in my chair. Let me sit upright. And I've got some friends who are not, I would say that they're not, well, let's just say what it is. They are ignorant. I wouldn't say that they are racist, but they just don't understand really what's going on. I don't think they deliberately go out of their way to make these kind of statements, but they sound very stupid when they say them. And when I hear it, I have to go, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. What did you say? You can't say that. You cannot say that because it's hurtful, and this is why. You are allowed to feel how you want to feel. You're allowed to voice this. But if you say that out loud, maybe not when I'm not around, you might say that, and the person who is in a different space, then you may whoop your ass. Okay. And so I'm trying to save you an ass whooping. Do not say that. This is why. For example, I've mentioned on here, a coworker said, oh, these camel jockeys or these towel heads. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. You cannot say that. This is why. This statement was made because there was a certain altercation. And when you go to this kind of name calling space here, it's just ignorant. It's just stupid. I know that if you are claiming to be my friend, I would be mortified if you said those N-words over there or those monkeys over there. I know my friend would not say that. So why would you think it's okay to be then saying that about Middle Eastern people? Why are you calling them a camel jockey, a towel head? That is fucking disgusting. And so since I heard that, I immediately put the kibosh on that. I said, hey, I'm just going to tell you one time only, you cannot say that. This is why. Okay? And my friend was like taken aback, like, but, and I'm saying, no. Listen, I know that you're hurting and that person is hurting too, but it doesn't give you the right to then say some shitty things, some ignorant statements about their culture. Okay? Be respectful. You might not agree with that person. Just state what you don't agree on. Why are you sitting here degrading that person, saying horrible things? And then I said, would you say that about me? And they said, no, I would never. Well, okay, so what's the difference? So they have a lighter shade of brown than me? But you're going to say that? No, you can't do that. And since then, my friend has never said another word about Middle Eastern people like that in front of me. Shit. I didn't mean to say she, sorry. My friend may say that behind my back, and that the onus is on them. If that's what you want to say, fine. But if I hear it, it's done. It's over. You're not saying that. I'm hoping that my presence there that day changed this person's way of thinking. Another friend of mine, I'm not going to say where this person is my friend, asked me, hey, I thought all lives matter. And then I said, yes, I am in agreement with you, but this is why we're doing this. because just as politely as possible. We had a polite conversation about it. Then I heard from other people it was not a polite conversation with them. And so my advice is, if you cannot have a polite conversation, if you cannot keep it from becoming personal, then just don't talk about it. Find something else to talk about. If you've got a friend who is just cannot handle this situation, is saying all of the wrong things, say, hey, you do your part and say, hey, this is why. And if it escalates, just say, you know what? Let's talk about it another time, and just don't talk about it. Because clearly that person is not in the right space right now to understand. Okay? If you want to come back to it later, when times are the time has passed, cooler heads have prevailed, then you can discuss it peacefully. But if you can't discuss it peacefully, if it becomes personal, then just abort mission. Like I said, it just breaks my heart that people are losing friends over this shit. But I also know that you have to stand up for what you believe in at the end of the day. I hope that you listening to the show, that you do recognize and understand, or you may not understand, but you want to do that your utmost to try and help this situation, help make it better. Start with yourself, understanding as best you can, and then tell a friend, hey, are you good? Are you understanding what's going on? Check in with your friends, check in with your family, and then also have a conversation with your kids as best you can. I know I don't have kids. I have dog children. They're driving me fucking crazy. It's damn near the middle of the night, almost morning, because I had to start and restart because my man's was out here crying, giving me a hard time. He's still out there crying, but I've got something to say and it's important and I got to get this done and I just have to push through. But I will definitely be having a conversation with my dog child after I hit stop on this show. I posted those clips that I played earlier. I posted them on my social media, and then I just have been trying to sort of just take a break because it's just the same old, people protesting, trying to do something good. And then in the nighttime, when the night comes in, then these rioters start burning shit, looting stores, destroying black businesses. It blows my mind. I cannot fathom. I really haven't had the words to comprehend what was going on until today, as I'm hitting record right now. I would say that I want to apologize for this podcast being so chitter-chattery, but I've just got some fucking things to say. And I guess if you don't like what those things that I'm saying are, then you can go listen to last week's episode or pick a number and click on it and do whatever you got to do, because I just got some things to say and I got to get it out. Never at one point have I ever said, oh, all white people are bad. Because I come from a mixed family. So there's always going to be bad seeds, just like these cops, bad seeds. And, you know, what has always resounded with me and was coming to fruition this week is racism isn't in you, it's taught. And people who do this fucked up kind of stuff, this is what their parents taught them. And I think it's really important that we as individuals teach our kids, or if you're a teacher, to teach your students, or you're a neighbor, that racism is wrong. Racism is wrong. Like my man Kevin Hart talking on the Joe Rogan podcast, telling us that we have a job to do. It is our duty as adults to teach our kids, to teach the kids that racism is wrong, and there's certain things that we need to do, certain things that have to be, groundwork has to be laid, and we have to be better examples. We just need to do better. And if racism prevails, if evil prevails, then you need to raise your hand and take that responsibility, saying that you didn't do enough. It is our duty. We are duty bound to nip this in the bud, to get this taken care of. And here we are 60 some years later, but it's more than 60 years. But specifically, there was a point in time in my parents' lives where Black people were not allowed to sit at the same table, not allowed to be in the same neighborhood, not allowed to go to the same schools, not allowed to drink at the same drinking fountain, use the restroom, vote. The list goes on and on. There was just, here we are now, and we have made some progress, but not enough. So what people protesting were trying to do, what they're trying to get accomplished is that we need to look out. We need to do better. We need to step up for Black people. And I can say, as a Black person who is extremely proud, it is difficult for me, even though I force myself to do it. It is extremely difficult for me. It doesn't matter what race you are. It is difficult for me to ask for help. So when I'm on here asking y'all for help, please understand that this is a moment for me, because I don't like to ask people to do anything, because I don't want to be a burden. That is the weird, disgusting gene that my father has given to me. But the problem is there's only so much you can do. And at some point you have to ask for help. So I'm asking y'all for help. Please do better. Let's work together on this. Let's try and figure it out. Let's, like Killer Mike said, plot, plan, and strategize. When I played another clip earlier about a man yelling about being 16 and being angry, and being 30 something and being angry, and talking to another almost 50-year-old man and being angry about it. And that 50-some-year-old man had that 16-year-old out there protesting and rioting. And that 30-something-year-old man told him, said, look, this ain't the way. There is a better way. If you're looting, they shooting. And that is true. President Trump said that. And a friend of mine was like, oh, a couple of people were like, oh, how come you're not out there protesting? How come you're not out there? And just like, because I know better, because I know that's not the way. I respect your amendment, your right to say something and peacefully protest. But I know truly the way that it is going to be fixed is if we are recognizing all of the names of the people who are compliant with this behavior. The police chief, the mayor, the district attorney, the prosecutor, the president, whoever is compliant with this behavior has got to go. So I want to use my voice in the voting poll to say, guess what? If you support racism, guess what? If you are okay with cops kneeling on people's necks until they die, if you are okay with cops specifically targeting Black men with like stop and frisk, who's this jabroni in New York who wants to run for president, Bloomberg, stop and frisk, and it was mostly Black people they're stopping and frisking, and they killed Eric Garner for a Lucy, selling Lucy's. They laid on him until he suffocated to death. No. If I lived in New York, that man's not getting my vote. Living where I am right now, whoever is compliant with this behavior is done. And I encourage you to find out who is in charge. Go to your city council meeting. Start asking fucking questions. Start holding these people that we have put in charge accountable. They are public servants. They work for us. So if they're not going to do their job correctly, then they need to go. The end. Vote them out. I know y'all who are regulars of my show, who listen, know that I'm not political, but I'm just telling you right now. These people who condone this behavior have to be voted out of office. You already know who they are. I don't have to say their names. Do the research. Come to your own conclusion, but figure it out quickly, because elections are coming and you don't want to elect an official who is okay with this behavior. It's got to stop. I hope that this can clear up any confusion. I hope that this, if it misses everybody and just hits one person, then I've done my job. Okay. But I like I said, I'll say it last week and I'll say it again. My DMs are open. Twitter is wide open. At GenT523, you can hit me up, send me a tweet. You can slide in the DMs. You can slide. Apparently, you can slide in the DMs on IG, and you don't have to follow each other. You can send me a message on there if you want to ask me some shit about what's going on. How can I make this better? Jen, are you all right? What can I do to be helpful? And I can tell you, you can call this number. You can write to your congressman. You can write to your senator. This is what you can do. Or if you just want to just shoot the shit, I'm open. I'm open to it all. I know that some certain individuals were not being friends in this team and that team. And I just wanted to keep the door open, because if I can be an example of one, then that can change somebody, then I've done my job. So my door is always open. Please feel free to hit me up. Questions, thoughts, concerns, comments, text, whatever. Do your thing. Post. I see and appreciate every single person I saw who posted something about Black Lives Matter, who stood in solidarity with Black people, who spoke out about it on their page, who went to go protest and posted it on IG. My friend took a rubber bullet to the titty, okay? I'm just saying. My girl was out there and got hit with a rubber bullet in the boob. Please, I say thank you. I appreciate every single one of you, because, like I said, some of y'all are losing friends over this shit for standing up what you think is right. And maybe those people are not your friends at this moment in time. Maybe they'll come back around. Maybe they won't. But I appreciate you. I appreciate the effort. And I think if we all come together, we can fix this. We can plan, we can strategize, and we can come up with solutions and putting a stop to this police brutality against African American people. On to some not serious shit, because y'all know me. Maybe you don't know me, but for those of you who do know me, I like to keep it light. I like laughter. Laughter helps fill the cracks. It's the glue that holds the heart together, I feel. Laughter. So we're going to just talk about some UFC picks, and we're going to get the fuck up out of here. I'll play a funny clip for y'all, and then we'll be done. Of course, the one thing that is being overshadowed, of course, it is being brought to attention for something slowly. I'm seeing it trickle along, and it's getting better. It is Pride Month. This is it, y'all. We are 7 days into Pride Month, and though it has had a little bit of a dark cloud, if you will, Pride is all about celebrating, about being happy, celebrating sexuality, whether it is your own or other people. It is about love and having fun. And I want to remind y'all, for those of you who don't know, that Pride was started as a riot. It was a riot at Stonewall. It was started because gay people, gay men and women, wanted equal rights. We were tired of being harassed by the police, and it was 6 days of protesting for queer rights, and we got them. So I want to give a hallelujah to my founding forefathers, foremothers of Pride, Stonewall, who and many others who stepped up so that I could be free today. That is, that I'm free to express who I am and love who I love. That is very important to me. And I want to tell y'all a real quick pride story, real quick. I saw today that Da Brat came out of the closet after 25 years of being in the closet. Now, first of all, we all knew Da Brat. Alert. We all knew, girl. We were just waiting for you to say something. So I commend her. I celebrate her and her fiance because I guess a couple weeks ago she proposed, but her fiance was not trying to say since Da Brat wasn't out the closet. So now that Da Brat is out of the closet, we can celebrate, y'all. So, what you like? A whole lot of pussy. Damn, it's about time, but to each their own. You just had to get there. I know it took me. Look, your dear host Rambo for only came out of the closet 7 years ago. I mean, people knew, but I didn't make it official until the words came out of my mouth. It just didn't feel real. I didn't take any relationship seriously. I couldn't get some women to respect me because I couldn't come out. I couldn't say it publicly because I was ashamed. I went back and I read some of my journals from high school because I still have them. And just me going around being secret with girls that I liked and snooping around and sneaking around and being super, super, super private about it. And then even at times trying to figure out ways where I would pray that I didn't want to be gay because I didn't want the stress and the turmoil and just the upset and the heartache. I just so desperately wanted to be, I just didn't want to be different. And it broke my heart to read that, to know at 16 years old, going to a conversion therapy with this lady telling me, this doctor telling me that being gay is wrong and you don't see gay in nature, and just watching fucking movies, and it was just bullshit. And seeing that doctor at my friend's wedding a year ago, she didn't even recognize me. That's how gay I am now. Oh my God. 20 years later. Oh shit. It's crazy how that I had to go through that experience to know, like, no, this is bullshit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yes, you might be a doctor. Yes, you might have a medical degree, but you don't know nothing about gay people being gay, nor are you understanding. So be gone from my life. And I understand that now. That it is okay to love who you love, be who you want to be. Me being with a woman is not hurting anyone. And it seems like people who get upset about hearing about gay news or gay culture or gay things seem to be closeted homosexuals who are jealous. So it is what it is. Prove me wrong. Time and time again, I see pastors saying, gay people, this is a sin, you're going to burn in hell. And then 2-3 years later, I was gay. I had a boyfriend in Palm Springs. Whoopty fucking whoop. Like, oh, boy, bruh, we already knew you suck dick, man. If you are that outspoken about somebody else's love life, chances are you are, okay? So that's just a dead giveaway. If I can let all the gay haters know, if you don't like gay people, just keep it to yourself. The moment you start advertising and go the extra mile about trying to silence gay people or stopping gay people, well, guess what? We already know you're gay. And you just want vagina or you just want dick. Okay? You gay as hell. The best gay haters are gay. The end. Okay, UFC picks. I'm going to blow through these really fast. Last week, my picks, I went 4 out of 6 picks. So that's pretty decent for a night. I'd say that's a very good fucking night on bets. I hope you won some money. You're welcome. My UFC picks are as follows. Cody Stamann versus Cody Stamann. Let me say his name right. Versus Brian Kelleher. I know Cody's going through some shit right now. I guess his little brother passed away. So my condolences to Cody. And a side note, please, if you can, I think maybe it's already closed now, but there was a GoFundMe set up for Boo Johnson, skateboarder Boo Johnson. His little sister had drowned at a family home, and he was asking for some donations to bring the body home so he can bury the body for Layla Johnson. So please, if you can, go to Boo Johnson and check and see if you could donate. Anything helps. And if it's already closed, just send him some love right now. So he's going through some shit right now. Please help Boo Johnson. Add Boo Johnson from the Pharmacy Board Shop in Long Beach and the Just Have Fun company. I love Just Have Fun because that is pretty much my slogan for my life. Just have fun, just have fun. So please, I just want to give back to Boo because he's given to me. At Boo Johnson. Cody Stamann. Back to Cody Stamann. He has lost his little brother. I'm not really sure what happened, but he, I believe, will be on a mission to make it right. So, Brian Kelleher, I'm sorry, but you will be knocked out. Next, Ian Heisches versus Gerald Merzgat. Some kind of names going on here, so we're just going to go with Ian Heisches. Next, Bruce Leroy. Alex Caceres versus Chase Hooper. I'm going with Alex Caceres. This upsets my soul, but I may have been swayed at the 11th hour because this underdog bet is so sweet. Too sweet to pass up. Plus 400. That means if you put $10 on Eddie Wineland at plus 400, you are going to get back $14. Okay? Or if you put $1 on Eddie Wineland, then you're going to get $4 back. Okay? If you win your bet. So Eddie Wineland versus Sugar Shane O'Malley. I love Sugar Shane O'Malley. He is a fucking beast. He's 11-0. I just feel like he's on his way to the top, but he might be overdue for a loss. Eddie Wineland, though, has always been, he wasn't always. He was a WEC champion. In the UFC, he's kind of just been this weird gatekeeper. He's done good enough not to get fired, but he should probably retire because he's not going to get a belt. I hate to say that. It's shitty to say that, but it's the truth. But Eddie Wineland is out here screaming on the interwebs. He is in the best shape he's been in the last 10 years. He's really feeling it. This could be a potential retirement fight. I don't think he said retirement, but it should be. Because, if you say retirement, then you're going to lose. So Eddie Wineland is going to be out for blood. And I'm worried for my boy Sugar Shane. Just a little bit. But I just feel like Sugar Shane is the next. But just for this fight, he might have to take this L. Next, Neil Magny versus Anthony Rocco Martin. Normally, I go Anthony Rocco Martin on all causes, but Neil Magny is he's a beast. So I'm gonna go with Neil Magny. Aljo, we got another Sarah Longo in the house. Neil Magny, Aljamain Sterling versus Corey Sandhagen. I'm going with Aljo. Aljo's my guy. We ride or die. Okay. Rafael Assunção versus Cody Garbrandt. On paper, Cody Garbrandt should win this fight. Rafael Assunção has seen better days. But ever since he beat the dog shit out of my boy Dominic Cruz, and then didn't just beat dog shit out of Dominic Cruz, he embarrassed Dominic Cruz. Did the footwork and then some, made him miss, was doing push-ups, dancing circles around Dominic Cruz, just disrespecting him. Ever since then, I have not been a fan. I've been a Conor McGregor fan. Let me just sidebar real quick. But the antics, if there's more and more antics and more showboating, I don't support it. I'm not a fan of it, and I back down. Listen. I cannot back somebody who is just acting foolish. Just fucking fight. Don't disrespect somebody. It is an honor to fight somebody, okay? Be clear. It is an honor to fight somebody. Do not disrespect them like that, okay? So ever since then, I have been rooting against Cody Garbrandt, and my wallet has never been happier. I'd like to say that it has been karma, if you will. The way you disrespected Dominic Cruz, that fight, and now he has lost 2 in a row. 2? Yes, he lost to TJ twice and Pedro Munoz. So it's been 3 in a row. He's dropped 3. And my favorite weakness about Cody Garbrandt is that if you clip him, he gets jealous. He gets upset. He gets nasty. So then he tries to fire back. So Rafael Assunção is a very good counter puncher. So if Cody doesn't land, he's going to get popped. So I am going with Rafael Assunção. But on paper, Cody should win this fight. So bet how you want on that. I'm riding with Rafael because Rafael's an underdog. So that's what we do. We ride with the underdog. And lastly, I've got Amanda Nunes versus Felicia Spencer. Felicia Spencer is pretty good on any given day, except Amanda Nunes. My God. Amanda Nunes hit so hard that she caused Kat Zingano's brain to go into hyperthyroid. She fucked up her brain that communicates to her thyroid. And they said, have a seat. Okay, Felicia Spencer has never been hit this hard and probably will never be hit this hard in her life. I truly believe that Felicia Spencer is great on the ground, but Amanda Nunes is better. Amanda Nunes hits harder. She's just better. It is what it is. My Canadian homie and I, we've been kind of going back and forth in the DMs. Like, look, how dare you? You know, you're my friend. We are Canadian. We're riding with Canadian. I'm like, look, I have no loyalty to either. None of my countrymen are in this fight, but I also have common fucking sense. And Amanda Nunes is going to put Felicia Spencer in a fucking body bag. Hate to say it, but Amanda Nunes needs that paper. She's got a baby on the way with Nina Ansaroff. Hello. Which, by the way, 2 of the nicest people ever. Met them at, what the fuck is, see, my mind's already drawn a blank since I didn't go. Dinah Shore. There we go. Nicest, lovely lesbians ever. You're welcome. That is it for my UFC picks. One more time with the rundown. Cody Stamann, Ian Heinisch, Bruce Leroy, Caceres, Eddie Wineland, Neil Magny, Aljo, Rafael Assunção, and Amanda Nunes. Let's wrap it up with that. Happy betting. If you win, awesome. You lose, don't call me. Let me just end with something cheerful. I was looking for something ridiculous. I'm in a group text with my friends and they were just saying some stupid shit and they just kept making me laugh. And I said, you guys are making me laugh like Bert Kreischer. And I want you to hear this laugh if you haven't heard it before. Bert Kreischer may have the best laugh on the planet Earth. You start hearing this shit and you just start laughing. You cannot stop. So let me play Bert Kreischer for you and I will say bon voyage, arrivederci. It's been fun. It's been real. I appreciate every single one of you who listened. I checked. I know I don't like to check the numbers, but I fucking just looked at the numbers last week, and I'm in a state of shock that 300 people decided to listen to my show. I don't know what the hell is going on. But 300 of you listen to my show, and I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. But we already know who the original 11 are. I would say keep listening if you want, or if this is where you jump off. It's been lovely. It's been real. Appreciate y'all. But damn, I was like, whoa, 300 people. How many therapy bills do I owe people for? Oh my God, damn. It's crazy. I can't believe 300 people actually fucking listened in 1 week. So thank you. I appreciate y'all. But let me play Bert Kreischer and leave y'all with something good, something positive. Please like, share, and subscribe to Rambopa Radio, ramboparadio.com. Tell a friend, but only if they're cool. No negative Nancy's, no sensitive Sallys. This radio is meant for truth sayers and lie slayers. But until next time, this is Rambopa Radio,
Please don't reply to this. Hey man, let me think about it.
I'm out.
This is why I don't reply to emails. Let's get together. I would love to sit and talk. I'm going through some shit. I need your help. What are you wearing?
I'm imagining some guy like in a mall.
Let's get together sometime. What are you wearing? Oh my God. Jesus Christ, Bert Kreischer, you son of a bitch. Oh my God. Peace. And remember, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Much love. I'm out.
Wow.